I haven't started. I'm just starting my recording, so my apologies. Let me go over this again really quick. I've got my layers set. I've got my items in place. I know how big I'm drawing. I'm going through and I'm just drawing these. So I just drew the resistor and I just made target points. I just drew the ground chassis. Now I'm going to do the connector jack and I just went over 0.5. And let's see, this must be up 0.5, up 0.25 and over 0.5. So I can just draw a line up 0.25 and over 0.5. I do that backwards. There we go. And then I can mirror it or do the same thing this way. I don't know why those didn't come out looking the same. They did. Okay, so there's my connector jack. Now I'll do this little capacitor. And again, it's 1. I'm going to stay over here where I can see it. Actually, I see that that's just like this. Would have been just as easy to copy it. And now look, if I were to come down 0.25, I'm gonna do these ones on my construction layer just so I can turn it off later on. I'm gonna come down 0.25 and then over 0.25, over 0.5, sorry, and down 0.25. That's going to be where my arc starts, and I'll do a mirror just so that I can practice the mirror command. So that then is where I'm going to make my arc. So that's going to be probably 3 point. 1, 2, 3. And then I have a line that comes down. That's my capacitor. And that just leaves me these two funky things, and they're kind of the same. So I'm going to draw part of it. Radius 0.75. Radius 0.75. And then, this is kind of weird. I'm going to draw this thing. It's 1 by 1. I'm just going to put it over here. I'm going to say 1. And 1. And then it says if I put that on the midpoint, the center, and move it over a 1/4 inch, it'll be in the right place. So let me do that. I'll move that. Center, and then I'll move it again 0.25. So that is now in the right place. Now I got to figure out, let's see, if I come down 0.25, I'm going to draw this out again, construction. I'm going to come down 0.25 and then down 0.5 and over 1. That's going to be this line right here. I came down 0.25 and then down 0.5 and over 1. And now I really will mirror that one. And so that's got me started, and I see one of those has a little arrow on one, and one has a little arrow there. So I'm going to copy that before I go much farther. And I'm just typing it in. Now here's a cool thing. I want to make that little arrow. And that little arrow comes back 0.38 inches. Okay. Now I have a place to go to. This is a great use for the P line. Polyline. I'm going to start it there, and I'm going to do the width command. W. And I'm going to start at 0. I don't know how big to make it. I'm going to make it 1/8 thick. And I'm going to go back to there. Is that the coolest thing? I can make a cool little arrow. I just think that's really cool. And so now I can either copy that and rotate it and align it, but I'm gonna do the same thing because I see that it's the same amount off here, and I'm gonna draw it here because I've already got my line, which should have been construction. I've already got it, and then I'll move it. So I'm gonna do the width, the polyline command again. I'm going to start there. I'm going to do that width command. And I have to start at 0 and then go to 1/8. And I'm going to end it up there. And then I'll move it. So now I've drawn all those things. I've got each of those things kind of drawn. So that's kind of cool. And I should be able to get those all to fit on here. I might not. I might have to do a little scaling when I put it in. So I'll see. So now if I turn off my construction, I've got them all. There they are. And now I can just copy those into place. But I'm going to do something else. I'm going to make it a block. I'm going to make a block. It's on the Insert tab. And I'm only going to do this for the resistor. I'm going to do it for the resistor. Just so that you can see how it works. And then you can decide whether you want to do it this way. So I'm going to create a block within this drawing, and I'll call it resistor. And when I grab it, I'm going to grab it by that point. That's what this pick point is. And then I'll convert it to a block. And I have to select what object. So I'm going to select all of those. And I gave it a name, and there. And now it's a block. And here's the cool thing. I can now insert the resistor. It's sort of like using the design center, right? Just really. So now, how many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there are reasons to do this, having to do with counting things. I could later on count how many resistor blocks I have in here. Whereas if I just copy this, I can't count. So there's real good reasons later on for doing this. Right now, not so much. So I need 1, 2, 3 that are sideways, And I need a bunch of these that are rotated. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rotated. And that means I need 2 more. So now I've got all my resistors. They're all just sitting over here for me to grab. I got 1, 2, 3 that are sideways, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are up and down. Now, for these next ones, I'm just going to copy. I need 1 capacitor, 2 capacitor. So I need a couple of capacitors. So I'll just copy those. And then 1 is going to rotate. So I'm just going through this like one little thing at a time, right? 1 is going to rotate that way, and the other is going to rotate that way. Now I have my 2 capacitors, and one of them has one of these little jacks put on it, facing that way, and the other one, the little jack rotates and goes the other way. So you see how this goes? You just kind of hit these one at a time, and I'm just making all the parts before they go together. Got that. I need another one of these. I need 2 of them that stick out this way. I need another one of these. I see another one up here. I don't think these are all going to fit in that little space that I had. So I'm just gonna put them out there. You can see these will never fit in here. So this thing had a scale on. Oh, 1 equals 2. What do you know? So now I need 1 of this one, and I need 3 of this one. So this is going to fit in something twice as big. So I need it to fit in something that's 20, 15.5. Got to fit in there. So what am I going to do? I'm going to draw some lines now. There'll be construction lines that I can just put things on. I'm going to turn these back on. I've got 1, 2, 3 primary lines that things are going to fit on. Move that one up just a little bit. They don't have to be perfect. And then I've got some lines that are going to be kind of like along there. And I don't know if I've got them all right, but it'll be kind of close enough. I can line some stuff up and put things in place. So let's see. I'll move this one onto here somewhere. And I see I could actually just copy those, but I'm going to do the move command again anyway. So I just got that one, that one, that one, and that one. And now these two are kind of funny where those go. Let me go ahead and put this one in place. That's going to be one of these. That looks like it's going to just hook in here somewhere. I'll try putting it on there. Sort of looks like it lines up on there. And now I've got another one that really looks like it ought to hook up on, and the other one is the same. And hopefully those will hook up okay. And now this one. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I've got another one of these. And I'll be able to move that and line that back up in a bit. And now this one finally comes. Down below here somewhere. There we go. So I'm getting close. I've got another one of these. To hook into the end of this one. And another one of these. To hook into the end of this one. And now up here somewhere, I've got a few more. I've got 2 more capacitors. And one of those capacitors goes up. And the other one goes down. And you can see now why AutoCAD is not well known for doing this. This is a pain. There are so many programs that just lay these in, and they're super easy to work with. So this is not, but it's giving you a chance to just kind of play around. And if you want to use that concept of using blocks, you can. Oh, I know. It's just, this is, well, and actually, if you had a grid and you had these blocks laid out, it's not terrible, but it's just not a super useful tool right there. It's really just for kind of practice and doing stuff. Let's see. I think I need to hook some of these up now before I get too lost. So I'm just going to start hooking up lines. Oh, but I'm on the wrong layer. Get that turned down a little bit. That's a little easier to look at. So now at least I can see what I've got done and what I haven't got done. Yeah, AutoCAD never did get into the electronics packages. Um, they do some good work with electrical, but not so much with electronic. Okay, so now I can see I need this jack to place up here. This stuff to place here. Looks like I need one more jack. There with a line connecting those. And I'm close. It does give you a lot of good practice with drawing stuff. And then I'm almost done. I'm close. I've got one more resistor. Which kind of goes down here somewhere. I'm just going to put it there. And I'll copy this. There we go. A couple more lines. And the reason I want to do this is it's going to give you a chance to do a couple more cool little things. So there. So that's mostly there. And I'm going to turn my construction layer off now. And oh, and you can see I'm missing a bunch of stuff. That's why we and hopefully I got that somewhat right. I do not. This has to go all the way past. There we go. That'll be better. And there's a very cool stretch command I could have used there, but I'll use this instead. Okay, so now I at least have this part of it right, and I want to show you a couple of cool little tools. The first thing you'll notice is that some of these have little dots. Where two lines come together, there's a dot. And there's a command for that. Donut. It's the donut command. And I want my ID to be 0. And my outside diameter, I'll make it like 0.18. I don't know. We'll have to find out. And then I can go click, 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 click. And so this is a fun command. Finally, we get something that's interesting. This one's going to be a little loop. There, I think I've got all the ones. No, this one right here. And that's, if you know Ohm's law or Kirchhoff's law and know how to do that, all that kind of stuff, you know that where there's a node, all of the sums of the currents have to equal and all that kind of stuff. Now there's another thing here that we might want to do, and I'm just going to show you doing it the hard way, which is to draw a little circle and do some trimming. I don't know why I keep getting put into one of these really weird trim modes. I don't want fence. I want crossing. Well, it's just going to be persnickety. So I need to trim. I don't remember which way this trim goes now. I think that's what I wanted there. Yep. Were those the two? I think those were the two. And that means that there's no connection there. Okay. And then the last little thing is I want to be able to put these on, this nomenclature on. Okay, and so I'm going to do that in Paperspace still. Now watch, I'm going to get rid of all this stuff now. Rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. I'm going to double click. Oh, there was one extra one. I've got something way out there, but I'm just going to zoom in. So now when I go to my def points layer and I go to layout and make my layout, I can change that to 1 equals 2. There, and it fit. Isn't that cool? And now I'm ready to put on all that good text. And I don't remember what it was. I can go ahead and figure out what all that was. Now, you don't get to do subscript and superscript in AutoCAD. So that's 2 little pieces of text. DT 0.12, probably high. V. DT. What a pain, huh? In. So this is definitely not the way to go if you're trying to really be efficient at electronic stuff. But it's kind of okay. It's good practice. That's how you do those. Most of the rest of the ones, I think you can just do whatever text it says. No, here's a V out. So I'll copy those again. V out. Okay, so that's how you do that one. And you just get it in there. So then this becomes electronic schematic and so on and so forth as you go. So this is probably the one that takes the longest because you just have to kind of guess and put things in place and do the best you can. But that's how I go about doing it. Okay, the M-Text editor is no, that's okay. If you want to make it an M-Text, but you still can't do, I don't think M-Text gives you subscript and superscript. So you can do, this one is M-Text, multi-text. That's just multiple lines. It means that you can edit multiple lines at once. And if you go into here, you can do multi-line text or single line text. So multi-line text is good if you're always, if you want to put those in that way. But I don't think it gives you the subscript and superscript capabilities. It's just very weak. It's not what it was for. Just look and see. So I see you don't see any subscript, superscript, style. And when you go to your style thing, it doesn't really let you work with that. So there you go. There is plate 4 and how to do plate 4. And the things that I wanted to bring up is that you can make something into a block. Create a block. And then later on, they all show up on this, and you just click and drag, which is a really cool thing. It's like the design center. And so now let me save this as electronics. If I go to my design center, I can actually find those blocks. So this is where you could make an electrical symbol block, and then it's just very quick and easy to drag those in. And if you look at the properties, there's scale and all sorts of stuff. I don't want that to show. You can scale it to it's really cool. So that's why it's useful to learn how to make blocks. And that's really what this one is about. If you want to just practice making blocks, whether they be landscape, architectural, electronics, plumbing, it's very common to need symbols. So these are good symbols to have. And that's what this one is for. Okay, our next one is got a little bit of time left. I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to do the roof plan. So this is plate. What is our roof plan? Well, I'm going to show you the setup. So I'm going to stop the recording.